The story of Yrzgrad spread throughout the Gower townships, and the bells of victory were sounded. Yrzgrad became a rallying cry for the townships. The young warrior who led his clansmen to victory was heralded as the savior of Gower. The elders of Yrzgrad bestowed upon him the name Connacht, meaning deliverance. In the years that followed, other battles were fought and won against the Myrkridia. The name of Connacht the Devil Slayer spread throughout the lands, bringing hope with it. With this dream, the isolated clans of Gower began to unite for the common defense, and a unified nation of Gower was born. The clansmen, led by Connacht, decided to do the unthinkable. More than defending their villages from the Myrkridian horde, they would bring the battle to the Myrkridia themselves. Using daytime assaults, the men of Gower began a counterattack that did eventually push the nightmarish devils back into the dire marsh from whence they came. All of Gower rejoiced at their army's victories, but the Myrkridian threat was far from over. The murky lands of the dire marsh were dangerous enough to travel through, let alone wage battle in. The perpetual gloom of that cursed swamp meant that the regularly nocturnal devils were constantly active. The Myrkridian made their warren-like nests from the very rock and muck of that vile swamp. If left unmolested, they would repopulate their losses with terrible speed. While marching along the outskirts of the marsh, a scout returned bearing news. He had laid eyes on a large cave, piled high with skulls and adorned with pendants of rotting skin. The army had found their first Myrkridian nest. With great trepidation, a small force was dispatched to exterminate the devils from their lair. It would be the first time that the eyes of a living man would look upon the horror of a Myrkridian lair.
So I have to admit, I was not expecting to be attacking a Myrkridian nest on my second mission of this game. Now as you notice, we have our veteran units from this, like for example Connacht, some of our berserks. Up here it shows some of their kills. The eagle symbol means that they are a veteran unit, and then the swords are number of kills. Shield is 5, each number of sword is 1, so 8 for that. I said previously Connacht had 15 kills, but if you added things up from the last mission, you'll notice that there were more kills than I had kills for, if that makes sense. I guess it's more fair to say that Connacht attacked 15 people. He didn't actually kill 15. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is just creating my groups. We have our berserks, some hearth guardsmen, and 2 villagers. These villagers, all they are doing is carrying around torches right now. Not terribly useful. Until we get to the lair, of course. Now, back when I said that this mission was very difficult, or sorry, I mentioned that I would be doing this game on Mighty and not Legendary, and this mission is one of the reasons. I've never actually beaten this mission on Legendary. It's kind of cheap, you have to know exactly how far the Myrkridia can see. We're at night in this rainy marsh, and eventually we're going to be in a cave, and they can't see very far. But you kind of have to really exploit it. Now, since this mission is so difficult, if I were to go straight across this marsh, I'd get killed. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be going around the edge of the map. Is it a little cheap? Yes, but this is Myth 3. This is what you guys signed on for. While I'm moving my guys, I get to talk about one complaint I have about this game. Now, everyone who hates this game either hated the bugs or they hated the control interface, neither of which you, the viewer, has to deal with. But unfortunately, I have to deal with the control interface. In Myth 1 and 2, let's say I wanted my group to be in a long line up and down here, facing over here. All I would do is I could click long line, or press 2 on the keyboard, and click. Unfortunately, they're going to go in exactly the same orientation, that is facing up, as they were before. If I want these units to face this way, I kind of have to flick the mouse. Movement orders are registered when you release left click, not when you actually click. So you kind of have to do this weird flicking gesture, and it doesn't work the greatest. Myth 2 had a thing where you could hold right click and you could alter the orientation of units, but right click in this game alters the map. which I can also do by using the corners of the screen of my mouse, or I can use it by using the keyboard. Middle click does nothing. Scroll wheel zooms in and out. So if you'll notice, that's the only mouse button that is of any use is the left click. It's almost like you could play this game with a button mouse. And that's, of course, exactly why. This is one of those few games that was designed for the Mac first, not the PC. Oh, you have to slow down, let these Myrkridia pass. Now, I know there's a lot of jokes about Mac gaming, but I had a cousin who had a gaming Mac, and it wasn't pretty. I mean, yeah, Marathon was okay, and Myth games are really good, but I played a lot of shitty ports of other games. Whoa, back away, not good. Not good. Are these guys actually going to notice me? Because if they did, that would be unpleasant. Well, I wasn't expecting to have to actually fight some guys, but guess we'll just go with it. Hopefully I don't take too much casualties or damage, because I wasn't expecting to have to deal with this. Okay. One Berserk's a little hurt, everyone else is okay. We're going to keep moving along. But as I was saying, Bungie was kind of noted for making Mac games. It's kind of ironic that they were in turn bought out by Microsoft. Maybe that's why. Maybe Microsoft didn't want them making more games for the Mac. I don't know. Okay, well, we stopped skirting around the map. That's good. We're going to go across the water here. Here's one thing I'll give Myth a lot of credit for. It does water very well. Watch what happens to my villagers with their torch. Aha! Torch went out. Now these villagers, they do have a special ability to try and attempt to relight their torch, but, oh hey, it works on the first try. Actually wasn't expecting that to happen, but that's okay. Before I go forward anymore, there's one other feature I wanted to talk about. There's a renaming feature. I can rename any of my units. For instance, I'll rename this villager, I'll call him Kenneth. And this guy, I'll rename him, villagers are kind of Nordic creatures, right? I'll rename him Ragnar. Okay. So when by the time you've read this, I've probably posted the thread. Read this, my god. Seen this video. I've posted the thread. Oh, I went too far. That's the edge of the map, obviously. What I'm trying to say is that if you want to post in thread, if you want to be a unit, go ahead and post. Tell me what kind of unit you want to be. No spoilers, of course, but I'll try to accommodate most of you. I know a lot of you want to be dwarves because they can explode or throw explosives and do a lot of cool things. I'll try to accommodate you as best I can. But now let's get back to this mission. We've found a group of Myrkridia. What I'm going to do is move my Hearth Guardsmen up. Kind of on the edge of this hill. Or no, let's go over here. Since it is so dark, and Myrkridia have such terrible eyesight, these guys are going to exploit a little bit.
I found the lair!
Yes, you found the lair. It's right here. But in the meantime, there's a bunch of Myrkridia guarding the lair. Our Hearth Guardsmen are going to throw spears at them. And the Myrkridia aren't going to notice. I'm pretty sure they're not going to notice. This looks like they're noticing. No? No? Yes, yes. They're... No? Okay, I think I'm safe. Oh, no, I'm not. Wait. Wow. I've never had a Myrkridia get that close and not notice me. What I was trying to do is stay a little bit farther back and start attacking these guys. Myrkridia have a weakness that I haven't talked about yet. When they get down to very low health, like just a tiny sliver, maybe 10%, they'll kind of pause for a second and howl in anger. When they do that, they'll start attacking the nearby unit, friend or foe. This guy's almost at that point. Once that happens, Myrkridia will start attacking, of course, fellow Myrkridia. And oh, here it goes. Yeah! Look at him go. So this guy's attacking his friend. His friend notices. Oh no, one of them dies. But guess what? This guy's now got the bloodlust too. He's going to go after this unit. And start a bit of a chain reaction here. Clearing out the area. The last one left is that guy. He's not moving because he doesn't see any units. He's at low health. Hearth Guardsman can finish him off. Gives me a chance to move the rest of my units up to in front of the lair. Excellent. Now this probably didn't seem too difficult so far, and you're right. But what's going to happen when I get into this lair is a bit of a different matter. So there's something I wanted to show you. I can save games in the middle of the mission. I'll call this mid-level. Okay, I've saved my game. With some creative editing, you wouldn't have even known that I had saved my game. I could have just continued off and make it look like I was playing this straight. Watch what happens when I load a game. I'll load the last saved game.